Okay, so this video we're going to talk obviously is going to be we talk about reckoning of Ragnarok and between chapter 54 and 55, and obviously this video going to have spoilers obviously, so if you don't have see the pictures and this kind of thing, yeah, so this is my warning for this video with the spoiler warning. So now obviously is this confirmed that Hades and Shishong will fight each other against each other. So we're gonna see because we see obviously Hades arena, like for example you see Poseidon's arena, Jack the Ripper's arena. So the only three characters so far that have a personal arena that work with their elements and this kind of thing are these three guys. So yeah, and they're gonna fight, and obviously the new human that was introduced to us was Nostradamus. And Nostradamus' abilities is that he can transform to that person. Like he can look like a different person. So the first time we see him is when he is dressed like Brunhilde, and then he can just take off the clothes, and then he turn back to his normal form, like Nostradamus. The interesting thing here is that if you have to also remember, Nostradamus is similar in that sense to Adam, because Adam also have this kind of guard ability that he can look at a movement and copy that movement with his eyes. That he just copy that movement. For example, if somebody do an uppercut or a flip kick or something like that, he can just look at that movement, and 1 second later he can do exactly that speed and that movement. Exactly 1 second later he can do the same thing. And with Nostradamus he can just transform to a person, yes, who he wants. He can be everybody. He can transform to Zeus, he can transform to Jack the Ripper, and so on and so on. It can be transformed to everybody. The only thing we don't know yet, when he transformed to that person, if he gonna have that ability that person have. For example, we say that if he take the shape of Zeus, do Nostradamus have the ability to use lightning bolts? For example, that we don't know yet. We only know that he can transform to a different person, but we don't know if he can take the power of that person that he transformed to, and this kind of thing. And obviously then they talk, and then obviously they explain why Nostradamus was punished, because he break the bridge between different realms and this kind of thing. So what I think will happen here is that Brunhilde will use Nostradamus to try to find Beelzebub to seek revenge, because she knows right now that Beelzebub was the guy that makes. We also have to remember here is that, yes, it's very important here, is that on the god side, the battle between Buddha and Zero, and then later on Buddha against Hyumen, the guard was cheating under that fight. They was not fighting fair, because originally you cannot swipe two different fighters under a fight. So the originally is that what Beelzebub did is that Beelzebub gives something to make Zero much stronger to take down Buddha. Obviously that fails because Buddha won the fight. So that is, I think, so in some sense, even if that was a fair fight, and even if Hyumen have won over Buddha, originally Buddha should win by fault because of this, because the battle was not fair. and this kind of thing. And this is what I think they right now is that they she's only fighting Hades and Nostradamus. She gonna save and probably gonna use against Odin or Beelzebub. So for me, between who I think will fight against Beelzebub is between Nikola Tesla. That is what I think first. Nikola Tesla or Beelzebub, or Nostradamus against Beelzebub. Because I think there's some strong character, for example, Beelzebub against Nostradamus or Loki against Nostradamus. Some of these two guys, I think, is probably gonna fight against Nostradamus, but it can also happen like this, that Nostradamus gonna fight against Hades. It is a possibility that will happen because we don't have every chapter yet, every page of the chapter. We only know that Hades will be the next guard that fight, and Shishwangdi will fight him, but we don't know if anything will be interrupted under that fight. For example, with Zero and Buddha, that fight was interrupted, or one of the demons. So that is absolutely a possibility, and that Nostradamus will fight against Hades. Because, as I said before in the beginning of the video, we know that Nostradamus can transform to different people. So we don't know if Nostradamus have transformed himself to Shishwangdi. I don't think that is the case. I think just for example, for speculation, a prediction that can be a possibility that Nostradamus have transformed himself to Shishwangdi. The only thing we don't know yet if Nostradamus has transformed himself to Shishwangdi, do Nostradamus have that ability of Shishwangdi, if that is can transform? Yeah. What I mean, simple as with all of this, what I mean with all of this is that if Nostradamus transforms to Shishwangdi, do Nostradamus have Shishwangdi's abilities or not? Do Nostradamus only are capable to be that person, but he can only look like that person, but he cannot be that person. He cannot use their abilities and this kind of thing. The other thing, so all of this is, so that is a possibility here, that probably Shishwangdi will fight against Hades. That is probably. But the other side is also a big chance that, because we only have some text, but we don't have CD5, it's also a possibility here that the guy we see that throwing Ares up in the air and this kind of thing is not Shishwangdi, is Nostradamus, that is transformed to Shishwangdi, look like Shishwangdi. That can be a possibility. So I really look forward to see the full chapter between chapter 54 and 55. And it obviously, the arena looks cool. We only see a little bit of the arena on a picture. We only see one side of the arena with the flames and the skulls. Maybe Hades will use his weapon. Maybe it will be some kind of a sight that takes souls and something like that. And Shishwangdi's ability is, since I said before, I think Shishwangdi gonna use different types of poison and this kind of thing, and obviously mixed with martial art, like poison and martial art. With his claws, I think these are dipped in some kind of poison, and I think you can obviously, because his face tattoo is like a centipede on his face, and his claws looks very similar to the stinger of a wasp. So I think Shishwandi special ability is poison. He have a poison ability that he use poison. Obviously in the manga. Um, the only problem here is that how do you take down a guard that is the guard of the underworld? That is my question. So I'm wondering how if Shishwandi defeat Hades, how will Hades even die, because he living in the underworld? Like, will he? I, I don't know. I don't know. It's just gonna be very interesting to see what will happen with all of this. Um, yeah, these two very strong characters. Hades is very strong. Obviously, I think Brunhilde have something in mind with Nostradamus. So if I think if that Nostradamus will have something to do with the outcome of the fight, but not be maybe not being there to fight Hades, but he probably will do something that prevent Hades to come back to life again. For maybe he's gonna smash some gates or something like that to the underworld, or something like that, to really stop Hades. That is a possibility. Um, I and you yeah, obviously a normal human in Ragnarok obviously is absolutely capable to defeat a god. For example, Sasaki was capable to defeat Poseidon, Jack the Ripper, defeat Hercules. But Hercules is not a god. Hercules is a demigod, half human, um, and this kind of thing. So the only full-blooded god, like the big name god that was defeated over human, was Poseidon. So far, is the only big god that was defeated. And we cannot count Zero, because Zero only fight a bit in the fight against Buddha, but after a bit, then Buddha fight against Hyumen. So the full fight of the battle was against Hyumen, and Hyumen was not a god. Hyumen was a demon. So that is interesting. Is that with that fight, if that when Buddha defeat Hyumen, obviously he won the battle, and the human gets one more point. But it is still that, as I said before, the guard still Beelzebub still was cheating under that fight. He still do not play the battle fairly in that battle. So I think they're probably gonna use Nostradamus in some way to do some similarity for as revenge. Who I think will win between Shishwandi or Hades? I think it's very hard for me to say right now, but maybe Hades will win over Shishwandi. But I still, in some way, I still think that maybe this guy is not Shishwandi. Maybe it is. Maybe this guy is Nostradamus disguised as Shishwandi. I don't know why I think that. I think just that is I think that is a possibility that he's disguised as Shishwandi, because I think in some way I think that Brunhilde maybe want to stay on the safeguards, and use a very strong human against one of the most powerful god in Greek mythology, like one step under Zeus, but he's a very strong god. And obviously we know that they can change guard in the last moment. For example, when originally Shiva should fight against Adam, but they changed that Adam fight against Zeus instead. That is absolutely a possibility that Brynhilde changed her mind and used Nostradamus instead, or Nostradamus is already on the field. yeah, there's lots of things that is to speculate about right now, because of maybe the full two chapters, 54 and 55, maybe will be out tomorrow. I really hope for that, so I can do a full, like a real full review of these two mangas. Really talk about it. For right now, it's just speculation, some text, some pictures, some spoiler pictures from the two chapters, but eh, we don't have yet seen any of Shishwangdi or Hades enter the arena yet, of any of the picture. We only hear some text. So we, we don't, for example, we don't know, let me say like this, we don't know from the manga, in the manga with it, when they talk, we don't know that it's 100% certain right now, that is confirmed 100% that Shishwangdi will fight against Hades. They only say in the text, but we don't have read it in the manga, if that makes any sense. That this is what I mean, is that sometimes you can read something about the manga and that was that what they say was totally wrong, for they give a wrong explanation of a different thing in the text. So it's very good that obviously when you do a full review, obviously we read the manga, so we can really know everything in the text and this kind of thing. But the other thing beside the text, beside obviously the Japanese text, is just person translated, but outside, but we don't have any text inside the, you know what I mean, the English translation in the manga. Yeah, and yeah. Obviously, I really look forward to see that fight. Even if the fight will be Shishwanti against Hades or Hades against Nostradamus. For me, just want to see the fight and see how it ends and this kind of thing. And I think the final, maybe the final four or five final, final 5 pages will be when they enter the arena, and then the chapter 55 is have ended. So I don't think we're gonna see any fight. I just gonna think we're just gonna see the two characters enter the arena, and then they're gonna say the names and this kind of thing. And then obviously when this happens, when you see the two people, the two characters going into the arena and the text coming under them with the versus symbol, versus symbol, then we know who will fight against who. But for me, I just have to see the two pictures first, that we see these two characters are fighting. This is what I mean. So right now it's still not 100. It's very not 100% confirmed yet, because we don't have any picture that they will fight against each other. But it's absolutely a big chance they will do. But we're still waiting for that official text, like two characters. And obviously the full manga in Japanese have come out, so that is good. But we they still don't release, even in Japanese. They still don't release the full chapter. So I don't know. We just get some bit of the both chapters and bits, but we don't have the full chapter yet. So it's still missing some parts, and this kind of thing. Yeah, and yeah. So obviously, I really hope that there will be a fight. At least can see some fight in the chapter. Not that they may not just use. We see just this to enter arena, and this kind of thing. And my prediction here, when the two chapters will come out as when they're translated to English, I think maybe on Friday or Thursday. I just know that One Piece will come out on Friday as on English translation, and on Thursday One Piece will be Japanese. So first on Thursday, so maybe on Friday or Thursday, Reckoning of Ragnarok chapter will be out, or before that. This is just my prediction here. Yeah, and lots of the information we get is a picture in this kind of thing we get is from Reddit. The Reddit have lots of obviously spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled at all in any shape or form, Reddit is not a place to go to with specifically with Reckoning of Ragnarok, because yeah, you very quickly gonna be spoiled there because of all the pictures and all this kind of thing. This kind of thing. So yeah, I really hope that we're gonna get the 2 chapters very soon. Yeah, just everything I really want to say.